sight. It's a comic book cocktail, shaken and stirred. We're
Makes you
the
bob your head,
coolest
doesn't it?
cats in the whole nerd herd. Grab your badge and
I like
strike.
that nerd herd.
I'm gonna hate that song by the end of the year, but I love it right now. Yeah,
I'm
You hear
telling
that
you,
say
it almost.
nerd herd?
Nerd Herd. Yeah,
What?
Yeah, okay, that's great.
It was fun.
yeah. Ash is a real fan of AI, and so
AI
he has
fanatic. You can
he
say
has been
fanatic.
using it to do things like write music for the podcast and different things like that. And because
Yeah.
back in the day, it was just always so much work, and now I just look at him and go, "Can't AI fix that?" He does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
AI is a nice way of saying Daryl.
Daryl.
Fix that.
So,
I like it.
guys, welcome to Concast tonight. Tonight we have guests, as you can see. I'm assuming to, however it is on your screens for those watching, to my left is Angela and Denise. I hope I got that right. It's Angela Carney
Denise.
and Denise. What was your last name again?
Brown.
Brown.
It's Janice with a J.
Janice. And I messed it up after asking 3 times.
All
Dang it.
right.
And we're going to be talking about Topeka Renaissance Festival that is coming up this weekend. I've been in communication with Angela for a while, and I thought it would be a really good time to not only help promote the event, but also talk about all the things that it takes to get something like this put together. I know Janice, she runs the location down there, the woodshed of where they're doing the festival. So we're going to talk about what it took to make this happen, what you guys got planned for this weekend, and all that stuff. And then we'll end our episode with our traditional talking about all the good AI convention stuff going on. We will give updates on Anime Festival at the end of this, and also a brief deal on the Steampunk Festival down in Oklahoma that got hit this week or last week. We're going to talk about that a little bit too. So having that said, guys, welcome to the show. And I don't know if I even formally introduced you ladies yet. Down below me is Ash or Daryl, who
Above
also co-hosts
us.
this with me. So we start off every episode fairly light. I know you guys are busy as heck trying to get all the last minute stuff done for the convention. But
This weekend.
we do start, or the festival, but we do start everything off with a geekasm. Just some light, good, geeky thing that happened. Like if you met, like you just got to see your favorite geek movie or whatever. And I'll start off real quick. Mine's simple and easy to give you an idea. As you see, I got my Ghostbuster office. I got sent from a friend of mine, signed autograph picture of Podcast from the Afterlife movie that is going up on my
Nice.
wall. So that's my
Nice.
little geeky treat this week I got. Ash, you got anything?
Well, for Father's Day, the wife got me a Lego set, which was Bender. So now Bender's up there on my shelf of paraphernalia and models that I put together. So I've got him. That was my quick geekgasm there.
Okay, and those listening on the audio version, of course, we saw Bender is already put together amongst all the Star Trek models that aren't finished yet. I saw. Is that right?
No, those are all finished.
Or
Darn
were
it, they
they,
just
were
don't
they
look so
also
good.
give you hell? All right. Did you ladies have any good geeky stuff happen, or have you been working your butts off all week?
I run the Woodshed Market, so it's an outdoor flea market here on Sundays. And I found 5 Harry Potter character little Funko Pop ornaments with one of the
Nice.
vendors for $1 for all of it.
Good.
I
See,
mean, these would have been probably what, $5 to $8 a piece, and I got all 5 of them for $1. That was I geeked out.
Do you do that flea market every week up there, or because I've heard about the flea market? It's every week.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, except this Sunday.
Well, yeah, I assume, and that's there at the
Yeah,
Woodshed
and-
as well.
Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
All
Yep.
right.
It's been going. We just had our 2-year anniversary last Sunday.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
so you ran a number of those events up there. Is that what inspired you to start the Ren Fair, or was it just you're a Ren Fair fanatic?
So actually, like 8-9 years ago, my daughter and I started the Topeka Pirate Society. And we were just dorks wanting to go do dork things and just have a reason to dress up. And we We put it out on Facebook like most people do, and it kind of, we ended up getting 6-8 people, and then we got people started asking us to do events. So show up at Boo at the zoo, Boo at downtown. We got invited to 2 or 3 foster care parties where they were parties for foster care kids, and we would come there with a table of pirate stuff and a book about being a pirate, and we would get dressed up. So we would meet at the Golden Corral. The Golden Corral in Topeka would let us come in one Tuesday a month for like their kids eat free or kids eat cheap night.
Mm-hmm.
They would feed us. We'd get to have a table, and then we would get to entertain the kids for a free meal. And we were having a meeting there one night, and we said, man, wouldn't it be cool to start a Ren Fest? That was like 8-9 years ago.
I just want to throw out, Daryl, you know how many times we went to Golden Corral and we went and did these shows? I never got free meals out of the damn thing. Just saying.
We're
Well,
dudes, dude.
Huh?
Maybe because the first of us were girls.
I was going to
That's
say,
what I just said.
when you see a bunch of old fat dudes walk in, you don't offer them free food or beer. That's just the way it is.
No, you want to get them out as quick as
so-
possible.
That's kind of how it started. And then a little over a year ago, I actually talked to Janice about it, and we looked at other locations, and, we just couldn't, even though there's 13 acres of land here, there's not 22 or 20 or 50 acres. We have really good support here with Janice and Adam. And so it just kind of made sense to go, can we do this?
Yeah.
And truthfully, I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing. But I got to go to a long running, a 6 or 7 week Ren Fair that would be a little bit above us.
Permanent site fair?
Huh?
A permanent site fair?
Yes.
Yes.
And I met some fantastic pirates, Yellowbeard being one of them. And next thing I know, they said, you need to get it out on Facebook. And we had set the date, done all the things. And I thought, oh, I'll throw it out on Facebook. And I did in September, and it just exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to rush to get all the things put together to have the vendors and all of that. And yeah, it was crazy how much it seemed that people wanted us to do this. So it's like an 8-year dream.
I'm personally tickled when you said you were wanting to do something in Topeka, because like we used to go up there and do TopCon for years, which was the Topeka convention. And it felt like during that time that like Kansas City people just didn't like coming to Topeka. We were having such a hard time getting them to Topeka.
Yeah.
Now I've noticed since you started advertising, like working with Yellowbeard and stuff like that, a lot more of the Kansas City people are like, oh no, yeah, we'll go support a Ren Fair in Topeka. Even when we were down performing Casey this year, it seemed like people were more interested than saying anything like, oh, let's not go there or anything. It seemed like everybody's just, oh yeah, if Topeka's having one, dates, that's what we need, dates. And you guys got good dates because you're not really conflicting with any long running standing fairs or anything going on.
Took a minute to figure out. Probably a couple months into it is when I met Shannon. She's the the vendor coordinator for Bluffwoods out of St. Joe. I wanted the weekend Bluffwoods was going to be going on, which was the 31st and the 1st. I just thought that would be like a good day, like maybe not too hot. But they had that, so that was out. And then we just kind of looked around, and there's some Facebook groups where they actually have schedules, and you can see in like a 500-mile radius.
Yep.
Who has a festival going on.
And unfortunately, I know a lot of those groups they're not fully, like they won't have everybody on them. You almost got to go through a bunch of different groups.
They're not fully integrated.
Yeah, not fully integrated, I guess I should say. Yeah.
I mean, we know that we're up against one, I believe, in Missouri this weekend. But I think if I understand correctly, it's their last weekend, and we're still like 200 or 300 miles away from them. So I don't know that we're going to have a lot of overlap.
Usually on stuff like that, the overlap you get isn't going to be the patrons, but it's the more importantly the vendors and then the performers, because vendors can only be so many places at once. Because I know we're even having that problem next week with our Anime Fest, where there's another festival going on within a 3-hour drive. So a lot of people are like, I can't be at both, you know.
Well, I will tell you, we did not lack in entertainment options. The problem, I think, that we are a grassroots effort.
Yes.
We didn't have thousands of dollars in the bank. This was kind of a dream, and we just started making it work. And so it wasn't lack of getting entertainment, it was just lack of a budget. And then truthfully, once I talked to Daniel with Equalis Nobilis about jousting, and I found out that it was affordable, that kind of blew our budget. Actually, I went way over budget with that, but you know,
having a rent or a joust the first year of your Ren Fair is I'll say ambitious, but that's also what gets you on the map. That's the thing. I know with Great Plains, I don't think we had a joust for the first 5 years of it. It took us a while.
Once I got a hold of them, and then actually got to speak with Daniel, the owner himself, it was such a great experience. And he was just pouring his experience into me. And with the joust, the only thing that we struggled with is Topeka, I guess, to get sand brought here. It was going to be like $5,000. And so they're even working with us on that so that we didn't have to pour $5,000 worth of sand into a place that, they've just been amazing.
That was going to be a question if you guys had to make an arena or not, or you were able to do it on the dirt.
We still have to make an arena, but after talking to Daniel at Bluffwoods, because when we got that information, I mean, that's just a lot of money to pour into the ground for the first year.
Yeah.
And so they're going to, basically, as long as we don't have a sinkhole out there, and they said that they will check all of that, we'll be fine. I mean, joust is still going on regardless. I've already talked to John.
Yeah, I don't know that team as well, but they I've heard good things. So, and it sounds like they're definitely working with you. So that's a great thing.
Yeah, I think Daniel and I probably spent a total of like 8 hours on the phone, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you consider I'm only doing a small show compared to some of his other festivals, that's a lot of time to pour into me. And he sees the opportunities out here the same way I do. And they've been following us on Facebook for quite a while too.
I should probably make a quick comment because I haven't addressed chat yet. I didn't even tell you guys we got a live chat that goes on the side here. Got a couple people. Hey, Jake. Hey, Kelly, Kenneth, Katie, everybody. And Jake, I expect you to chime in too, because we're talking about running festivals and putting stuff together. Jake's also somebody, he runs the Midwest or the Gateway Pirate Festival in St. Louis. And he's part of Totally Lost, the music band. He's always a good person. I suggest people to ask him questions as well. He's relatively new to running some of the events, but damn, he's done a good job. So he's a good one. So with you guys getting started, and I get the idea behind it, as far as starting your pirate group, and I'm saying this for anybody else out there who always looks at what it takes. I know with starting a pirate group, it's almost as simple as once you get a Facebook page and a couple genuine people on your side, you're good. And I mean, that's all you really need to do. And then you need to try to promote yourself and get out there and do stuff. And it sounds like that's what got you a little bit of traction with getting the Ren Fair going and having, of course, your connection with the woodshed out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have always joked and said we're Temu pirates because we don't necessarily have all the big, huge, expensive, fancy gear. But I think sometimes because we're just fancy enough that it kind of makes somebody that may not know how to get into it get into it because then they're like, whoa, I don't have to buy $1,000 worth of stuff just to go out like a pirate. I'm like, no, you can buy something here and then work your way up to the more expensive. I bought more expensive pieces now, but I didn't start out that way. So we just kind of joke saying that we started out as Temu pirates.
Well, you're going to have all the cool gear here pretty soon because I keep watching online all the stuff you guys are building and making for the festival as well. You're not just slapping a couple of flags up and saying, let's go do this. You're building full-size props and everything. And
so when I say that I'm going to do something, I'm not going to tell you I don't ever fail at things, but I go all in. Even when it drives everybody crazy. Like, drives everybody crazy.
The quiet smile on the side. I'm along for the ride. We'll see.
We have a great restore here in town, Habitat for Humanity, and we've gotten tons of chairs from them. Hitting garage sales, like it's really shocking. And then of course the flea market.
Yeah.
I didn't grab it today, but I have a really cool mirror that I got at the flea market that kind of looks like the Game of Thrones.
Oh,
like
cool.
It has that kind of vision to it that I have to bring in for tomorrow. But I mean, yeah, you can find all kinds of stuff. But we got really lucky when we met Toby Sanders. He's our builder.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I just like it that you want me to build things. And I'm like, keep on building. Like,
yeah. Let's see how he is in 5 years from now.
Well, if you look at our Facebook page, I just posted that they just put up the outdoor pirate bar. And
Yeah,
I
I
just
did see
posted
that.
a picture.
Yeah.
And we got lucky because we got facades from a local nonprofit called SLI. They work with adults with mental handicaps and such. And we got their old Festival of Trees facades. And all we really had to do was slap some brown paint on them.
Is that the same place? Because I swear I saw something about you got some donations from a theater group or something.
That was them. Well, not a theater group, but we've had people just give us stuff. Like,
yeah.
I mean, just call up. We had a guy the other day that dropped off. It's more of a probably late 1800s dress, but it's got a big hoop underneath it. And he's like, I thought you might need this. And literally dropped it off at the woodshed.
See, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't always get once you start running events like this. People will drop stuff off, or you'll just be out garage sale and go, that I could make something out of that. And then you take it home, and next thing you know, you have 8 storage units and all stuff parked everywhere. That's kind of how we are. I've still got storage units for Steampunk and Zombie Fest and everything else, and stuff just sits in there. And every once in a while, when it's an event, I'll be like, oh, we could use that for this. Like, Steampunk and Ren Fair kind of cross, so maybe, yeah.
So we must be kindred spirits because I actually have like an RV-sized storage unit. And our goal after this is to get the rest of the stuff out. And Toby's going to build me shelves in it. Because when I say RV-sized, I mean, like imagine a driving RV. I think it's 50 feet long, something like that. And so if we had shelves in there, it would be a lot easier to kind of keep track, where right now we're kind of having to stack stuff. But yeah, that's kind of my goal, is to start having, because we do events with the Woodshed Market too. So we have car shows, we had an Easter egg hunt, we do chili cook-offs. So all of those things need things. And Janice gets tired of me holding it up here.
You'd briefly had mentioned, as far as store and stuff, I mean, it got like with the Ren Fair, our Ren Fair here for a while, we had to have a shop just for repairing, because every time you take everything out and then, it gets rained on, people treat it horribly. Then we had to come back and everything needed fixed again, then put into storage. So eventually that's something you'll have to worry about, but I don't think you'll be there for a while. Briefly before the episode, you had mentioned you guys had even already considered about doing some more events there at the Woodshed and stuff. And it sounds like you're already doing events. Were you talking about doing more like geek themed kind of things, like maybe like a Harry Potter thing or something, or
I'm all for it. And Janice's motto is she'll try anything once.
Well, we got a Pirates Gone Wild show. Just we're all dressed from the waist up. It'll be fine. I'm kidding.
Well, they did just have, what were they called?
Micro maidens.
They had the micro maidens. They're,
The
they're
wrestling
little
dwarfs?
people strippers.
Midget strippers.
See, that would be right up our alley. Dang it! Why didn't I see
Oh.
That
this?
was awesome.
Ah,
Man, the jokes write themselves at that point.
no, the 8 million questions I'm going to ask you when we get there. Now we help out with a festival in Iowa, and one of the entertainment directors there, her dream is to get a dwarf. It's an all-female dwarf jousting group.
Oh,
So it's
Oh my
female
God.
dwarfs on ponies jousting for the Ren Fair there. And every year she'll send me something like wrestling midgets or something, that she just loves it. And anytime she gets a chance to hire a little person, we get one.
Yep.
So it's pretty neat.
My question is for you, John. Every time she sends you something like that and you watch it on your phone, what does that do to the algorithm of stuff that Facebook suggests to you?
I don't know. My algorithms, I think, like any geek, are probably just horrible bad.
Oh, they are.
Yeah. Now, as far as the festival itself, because I know we're talking a little bit about what it takes to put stuff together and how you got this journey on this weekend. What can people expect to get there? How do they get tickets?
Tickets are online or at the door.
Okay.
Our new facades will be up, and we have cute little ticket booths that are going to, in fact, like I said, part of it's already gotten put up. The rest will go up tomorrow.
And online, that's at just TopekaRenFest.com or
No,
just
we did
Google?
it www.GeminiVibesKansas.com.
Okay.
That was another part of that grassroots effort. Like when we first started, we had people that came on that was like, yeah, we'll do the things. And
Yeah.
things didn't quite get done, and it's okay. I mean, but we just, instead of spending a ton of money separating everything that I'm doing, because I also run the Topeka Spirit Fair here now too. So instead of separating everything out, I just kind of have it under one website. But once this hits, we're probably going to separate the Topeka Renaissance Festival a little bit from that and give it its own website. But I just wasn't smart enough to figure all that out at the time.
For a first year, you're totally fine. Nothing. I mean, and if somebody needs to, they can always contact you through your social media.
Well, we did a Square, like we did the tickets through Square, and we did everything, the website through Square, mostly because I was looking around at all the fees attached to ticket places. I won't name names, but the fees were $5 to $10 to $15, and we didn't have somebody that could go in and write a code to run the tickets through the website. So Square allowed us to do that. And then we don't have to give those fees to the customers. When they're trying to get their families in, they don't have to pay an extra $5.
That's
It was $3 to $10. And I'll be honest, it's put some extra work on us trying to figure out how all that works. But
Yeah, dang it! I wish I would have known you were having problems with that, because I could have given you a lot of advice. Because I don't know that any two events I help run do it the same way, with the exception of the ones that just take money at the door and credit cards at the door, and that's it.
I will tell you, I don't know that we'll go through Square like this again. We have to figure out, but we just got a new vendor coordinator, and her husband actually writes code.
Okay.
So he's going to help us once this gets done, so that we can do all the things a little bit better, and maybe not look so grassroots effort the next time. Because it's hard, because new people are coming on board in the last 2 or 3 months. They haven't followed our whole story. So they're coming in and they're like, oh, I'm having problems. And it's, people don't always read the fine print, because we have it listed on our tickets, but it's okay. Usually when I explain it to them, because they call or email, they're actually very appreciative in how we're handling it, because they are used to having to pay fees.
Yeah, it feels like conventions and festivals are very different in that way, to where people don't, like at a festival, like an outdoor event, it seems like people just do not want to pay fees at all, unless it's a special private ticketed thing off to the side, is the way we've always run into it. But yeah, I'd love to chat with you more about that this weekend. I don't know if that's something I should put online here, but I could definitely hook you up with a couple people that could help you out with some of that too, if you're interested. But
We
so
just
this,
want to be cool this weekend and then keep going.
yeah,
We want to become the staple in Topeka for Renaissance festivals and all things geeky.
yeah. Well, I'd like to see more geeky things in Topeka. It feels like we used to have a lot more, and I don't see it as much anymore.
I want to know what the Spirit Festival is.
Yeah, I was
You
going to
mentioned
ask about
that,
that
and you
too.
piqued my interest. Is it like spirits, or is it like everybody doing jazz hands? What do you got going?
So it would be more like a spirit, mind, and body fair, but sometimes we get really excited and do jazz hands. Does that help?
And we do have spirits. So.
And
It's
there-
We can drink
so the
spirits.
word-
That's what I was
We have
hoping.
spirits,
So
but we also have spirits.
The woodshed is haunted, in case you didn't already see the stories.
oh, I did not see the stories, but I love
Yeah.
haunted stuff. I got a ghost fetish, if you haven't noticed. So
So Janice has had multiple people come in here and detect them, and then she's got them on camera.
The
Oh, really?
orbs.
oh, now we really got to talk. Dang it.
Oh yeah, because
Oh, go ahead.
John here, he wants to do a whole cryptid thing. So yeah, you
talked-
really piqued his interest. Too bad Cookie's not here, man. He would have elbowed you out of the screen and already been taking over the conversation.
Yeah, my brother and I, we really tried to talk, and we need to do more cryptid ghost stuff on this channel. And he's like, it's convention channel about conventions and festivals, damn it. So,
Right.
and then we talk AI. So, but that's all right because I love the AI.
So let me ask you about that, because you keep talking about AI, but like right off the bat, I was told in the Renaissance community that they're very against AI.
This is true. Yeah.
Very much so.
And so we've 100% stayed away from it.
Smart.
Only because, so being that our main profile, my Topeka Renaissance Festival is a profile, we have a business page, but we also have a profile. So I can see all the things that people are talking about that I can't see if it was just a business page.
Right.
And I've seen multiple people get into huge debates, and most of them are Ren Fair vendors, artists. And so, yeah, I've seen some pretty torturous conversations about that. And I'm like, well, we'll just stay away from it.
Well, and not even just AI, but and I'm sure you've already got it. You're going to get 1,000 people just like me, just like every Ren Fair vendor and stuff. They're going to come after you and tell you exactly this is the way it is in the Ren Fair community. This is. And it's like, no, that's the way it is in their circle. It's the way it is in their circle. You got to be real careful not to let people go, I've been here 2-3 decades and boss you around, because half of us are full of shit. Just remember that.
So we've already had that happen because of the fact that we've got a big portion. We've talked about dragons a lot. We've talked about the mermaids, the fairies. We've had people get nasty in the comments, and you're not a Renaissance festival. You're a fantasy festival. And
oh yeah.
but here's the thing: in that same time frame, we'll have 5 people come in and defend us and go, well, look, it's their first year. Let them figure out what's going to work for them. And if you go to bigger or even permanent locations, you see dragons, you see mermaids, you see fairies, you
And
see all that stuff.
You're going to see them at those permanent site fairs we were talking about, the big fairs everybody looks up to, the 7-8 weekend long ones. They're going to have that stuff there too. And a lot of people come from that old school where it used to be like you couldn't have a pop-up tent at Ren Fair. You couldn't have anything that looked plastic. Now you go to Ren Fair and there's pop-up tents all over.
Heck, there were times where they would get mad at you if your costume had a zipper.
Yeah. Or you were seen using the porta potty. We've been in trouble at fairs for not eating out of wooden bowls because we bought something at the food booth. That stuff happens. And yes, I think keeping the element there, but like one of our shows is a pirate Star Wars show we do. And some people go, you can't do that because it's Star Wars. It doesn't exist in Ren Fair and blah, blah, blah.
It was a long time ago.
I always tell people, not many people wake up in the morning and go, I'm going to go to the Ren Fair today and learn something and get excited about it. They go, I'm going to go to the Ren Fair. I'm going to get me a turkey leg. I'm going to watch the belly dancers. I'm going to have a good time. And then my deal is if we can have them have a good time once they get there, if we can teach them something on top of that, that's awesome.
Right. Yeah.
But so many people get on their high horse and do that like, oh, no, this has got to be authentic this way. It's got to be authentic that way. We had the same thing at Great Plains for years. And we decided our deal is put a great event on. And if people like it, that's all that matters. And I don't mean to sound like a jerk to people, but boy, if you're making money from tickets coming through the door, that just shows you're doing it right. You know?
Right.
So
don't let
stuff like that
some
break you down.
basement
we don't-
dwelling person gatekeep you. Don't let them do that.
The only thing that I'm disappointed in is that I wanted the $3,700 metal dragon,
Metal
and we didn't
Dragon.
get it.
Oh, who doesn't?
What $3,700 metal dragon? I want to know about that one.
It's Ira the dragon. If you Google Ira the dragon, it'll pop up.
Well, now I
It's
need to-
yellow,
IRA?
but it's metal. It's got wings. It's cool. We could do a fundraiser for me. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to look. I'm very curious what Ira the dragon goes for because, like I said, I've got
How
that.
do you spell it?
$3,700.
How much?
How do you spell it?
Ira, IRA.
How much does
Okay,
it
I'm
cost?
look-
Oh,
Find
sorry.
it.
I didn't. Oh, okay. Hold on. Angry Ira.
Yep, that's it.
All
It
right,
looks
hold
cooler
on
than
a
my
second
dragon,
here.
doesn't it? Damn it! You're not gonna make me.
Let me open in a new tab. And
So for those listening on the audio version, I will try my best to describe this when Ash pops it up. But I'm just very curious because I too have a large robotic dragon that breathes fire, and
Yeah, there he is.
my dragon eat that one for lunch. All right,
I know, but I mean, it's still.
that's
you
cool
know,
looking though.
It's cool. I like it that you can do different things, and I actually wanted to make it a girl. So
oh
when
yeah,
we
you're looking
adopt
at-
it,
Purchase, not rent. Is that?
yeah, you have to purchase it.
Okay, I thought you were looking at
Oh,
a
the price
dragon
went
root.
up. Now it's 4,000 instead of 3,700.
Well, see, you could talk to Rich Cathy too. He's got a 6-foot dragon that he uses for events.
Well, you know, the thing is that I feel like sometimes those are your guys' things. Like,
Yeah.
We just need a mascot.
yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do with Ira was turn Ira
Her.
into Ira-ette.
Ira can be a girl's name.
Yeah.
yeah. Ira's good.
Ira's
Either
good, yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of my hope is that we could get her eventually, and she can be our mascot. I was a Pittsburgh Purple Dragon in high school, so dragons have been a part of my life since high school.
Oh,
I like the idea of having something like Ira up front there.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Now, as far as other things going on at the event this weekend, I know, and I should address, Kelly had asked if the WAGs are going to be there this weekend. We are going to be there this weekend. We're going to do family-friendly outside and then adult inside at the Pirate Bar. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, we're going to let you do. We've kind of got a full schedule outside on the stage, is how it got set up. But like we just figured after talking, we have a stage inside the Valhalla Hall. Like if you guys want to hop on stage and do a little dance and talk to people, great. If you are outside and there's a 15-minute time span because somebody got done early and you guys want, we don't care. You pretty much, as far as we're concerned, have full reign outside of actually kicking somebody off stage.
Oh, well, shit. All right. Well, I do know that we got some drinking games planned for the bar because we figured even if we're not on stage, we can at least do a couple drinking games, get some people drinking. So, because I know liquor sales are a big deal at festivals. So,
Well, and I talked Janice into getting meat on her menu. So
mead.
if all goes well, meat
Oh.
will become something available here at all times.
If
Which is, there's not very many places in Topeka, if any, that have it on their menu when you
I was
go
gonna
out.
say, if you're needing a mead distributor, I mean, Ash and I happen to own a winery that specializes in mead. Just saying, I can bring a bunch of boxes with me. So,
no, you bring a bottle or two, let them try it, see if they like it. Yeah.
yeah,
So we have mead and we have elderberry, blackberry mead. And then we will also have jalapeno mead.
Jalapeno. Hmm.
Jalapeno.
I'll have to try it. Not up my alley, but I'll have to try jalapeno mead.
We have just
Never
three
know, it
different
might
varieties.
be right up your alley.
It might be.
We just have the standard sweet mead. We have an orange vanilla mead, and we have a pomegranate wine.
Yes.
Ah.
Nice.
We're looking
Is
at
the
there
natives
anything,
like it.
Little Beard, that you don't do?
Apparently jalapeno mead. No, it's one of those things doing this stuff, just like you were talking. You've got all these other events that you also help run, and you're running the pirate community, and it feels like this geek industry, when you get into it, you just kind of expand into other things eventually. And I could sit here and tell you which ones make money and which ones don't, though. That's because there's a lot of this stuff I do that doesn't make money. The winery, it makes money, but we just put all the money back into the winery.
Right.
But yeah, the festivals, that's the big one. Oh, is that Rich? Oh, no, it's Rich Harrison. I thought maybe Rich Cathy hopped on. Rich says you might have to come up and heckle us this weekend. Come up and heckle us, man. Apparently they're going to have meat. So, and we're going to be in a bar drinking. So come hang out with us, Rich. Let's see. So, I know where I was getting. I got off track. Entertainment this weekend. I know you guys got vendors. You guys got a lot of vendors, it looked like.
We have all together with the indoor and outdoor over 100.
That's pretty
nice.
That's higher than what we have here at Great Plains usually. We're usually
we tried. We have had a couple cancel in the last couple of days, just family emergency type stuff.
Yeah.
But I think not everybody has indoor space, and we have the ability to have indoor space and still give space to the customers to come in and hang out and do the things. So that helps, because when we have a vendor event in the ballroom, which is going to be Valhalla Hall this weekend, we can figuratively at a 10 by 10 space actually get 30 vendors in there and still have room to move around. And more if you do just like one table space. When we figure we could get 5 or 6 of those in.
Mhm.
So we only rented out 15 indoors, though. We could have had a lot more,
but you got the rest, of course, then are all outside, like traditional Ren Fair style.
Yeah.
And then entertainment wise, you've got a joust, which is a big deal for first year fair. That's a great deal. You got the pirate bar, which I know us, the Scallywags, will be in, and you said this other pirate group, which
the big deal with that is it's 21 and over only, so no children allowed. You have to be 21 to get in, and it is so that one of the requests that we had when we first started bringing Topeka Renaissance Festival is to go back to some of that old body entertainment that bigger permanent fairs are starting to get away from, mostly because it is becoming so family oriented. So this way we can still have it, but it's away from the families.
I was matter of fact, just yesterday I was having a talk with a buddy from the Body Buccaneers, because they do the adult shows like we do up north. And they were talking about how some of the permanent site fairs were both having problems getting the advertisement from the permanent site. Like they'll hire us to come in and do a dirty show, but then they don't want to advertise it because, they're presenting a family friendly atmosphere. So it's this weird catch-22 that a lot of those groups are in right now. Do we promote it ourselves because you don't want to make it look like the festival's debaucherous, but that's also what they're hiring you to do. So it's hard to not promote it. So it is a weird thing right now. Festivals.
Well, I think if you're just careful and you use the word body, BAWDY, I think that people are like, oh yeah, that's way more fun. And I tell people it's not going to be sensitive entertainment. And that's word
that's a tough thing. You got regular family friendly, then you got body, then you got filthy, and it's hard to advertise that if you do the filthy at all. Because like Body Buccaneers, their regular show they call body, but it's maybe PG-13,
Right.
So I think at festivals a lot that even the word body gets misconstrued as to, oh, it's not too bad. It's just mildly dirty, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
even with us, what we have to do, at least we, worked at it for many years of, you got to look at that audience. We let them vote each show, but you got to look at them and you got to go, I don't think you really want dirty, like they're
Yeah.
saying they do, but you got to go, no, I can tell you got your 15-year-old here or something, or you got whatever,
That used to be the thing that irritated me, is when the entire audience was asking for something body, and
Like
then
filthy, yeah.
somebody would come in and park their 9-year-old kid there. And so now you have to redo everything because somebody decided that you're a babysitter.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is here. Hold on. Even though we're not completely done, so ours has a door.
Yeah.
Like-
No, that's great. Yeah,
Own the bar.
having a separate bar
Own the
like
bar.
that for us, that's going to be great.
I love children. I have a brand new, newish grandson, but
Yeah.
I will stop the parent at the door and be like, nope, and take the kid over there.
Yeah,
Because
I love
that is-
kids. Sometimes I can finish a whole one, but no, not in the show.
So
I just want adults to be able to go and have whatever they construe as adult time. And
Yeah.
I always feel like if it's too dirty or too filthy for them, they have the opportunity to leave. We're not
Yeah.
holding them hostage. We're not,
Mhm.
tying them up in fishnet and making them sit there. So it just
now
gives
that's another
people-
show. That's a whole different show.
Well, I just think it gives people the opportunity to have adult fun, adult humor, adult time. And there isn't necessarily a screaming child that's excited to see the mermaids. And that's great.
Yeah.
But sometimes people want to come to these festivals and just have a good time and not be kid oriented. And I think that this pirate bar, the Below Deck, did I say it right?
Below deck.
Below Deck gives us that opportunity to give adults that time.
I'm going to write that down, Below Deck, because we'll already start making jokes on that. All right.
And did you see that we also have a pole dancer coming in?
No, I was about ready to ask because you mentioned mermaids and stuff, but pole dancers got me a little more intrigued. What do you got? like for the pirate bar?
Yes.
Oh,
Jake,
Yeah.
take notes for the Pirate Fest. More pole dancers.
Her
So,
name is Lacey Ray, and she actually owns a business here in Topeka teaching pole dancing.
oh, cool.
And her father, may God rest his soul, JD, was a DJ at a local dance club, like strip club.
Like a Ray.
I was going to say, like a what?
Ray.
Like,
A rave?
Big Ray.
Oh, Big Ray. Big Ray. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see what you're saying. A guy we know, sorry. We actually did one other fair once that had pole dancing classes at it in Iowa.
Yeah.
And it was really, really good. It was called Ren Fair After Dark, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that kind of got me. I'll tell the guys they have that there, and they'll all get excited now.
this will be the first time for us working with her, but I think that this relationship with her can only go up and that we can do other things with her going forward. She's really trying hard to get her business off the ground here in Topeka, and she was excited to come out, and she's been promoting the heck out of us.
Well, that's awesome. So you guys do you have mermaids or what other things you have going on there?
We do. 7 Fathom mermaids are coming out. We have Once Upon a Party Kansas is bringing out the Pixie Fairies, and they're going to do some games. We have a petting zoo coming out. We have, I'm just kind of going around in the map.
See, this is how this channel works. We already talked about all the adult stuff, and then it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of kids stuff. Hell, I didn't even think to ask.
Yeah, we have the Sword Masters Challenge, and I love him. He does
Yes.
the Monty Python sword fighting. That's great.
That's the big foam booth that you posted a picture of. Is that right?
What?
Is that the big booth you posted a picture of with the foam weapons and stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So he does Monty Python rules, and I love that.
Yeah.
and then
We worked
we
with him in
have-
Oklahoma. He's a lot of fun.
We have 15 to 20 Vikings coming, and they're doing a whole Viking encampment.
Awesome.
And they're out of Bluff Woods. Most of them are out of the Bluff Woods, St. Joe. They do other festivals also. Let's see. Let's go around the bend. We have Artist Alley. Then we have face painting, henna, Game Nut, one of our locally owned game stores. He's doing a D&D quest
Ooh, cool.
through like 3 of the vendors. And they're coming all dressed up, and each stop that you make, you get a little treasure, and then when you get all the treasures, you can bring it back to them and you get a coin from
Nice.
them. Yeah, it's a pretty cool idea. He even said, he's like, you're my first try. And I said, well, hey, it's my first Renfest. Let's just do this together. And we've got a lot of first time vendors that want to get their foot in the door to Renfest also. And so that's been pretty awesome. And then, do you know Yellowbeard?
I don't know him
Weird.
personally. We've met a couple times. I don't know that he knows me. I did stop by his booth while we were performing in KC last time because I wanted to talk to him about Topeka Fair. And our schedules did not line up because we were on stage and he's running his booth. So I don't know him personally, but we've crossed paths, I should say.
So since he's setting up all weekend, he's kind of the head of our Pirate Island that we're going to have over on the other side. And then Bad Ash Cigars coming, and they just decided a couple of days ago to have a cigar tent out there, I guess.
Oh, that'll make Biggins so happy. In St. Louis,
I just want to warn you, my battery light just came on.
Oh, that's right. We're pretty much needing to tie it up anyway. I said we'd keep you on for 20, 30 minutes. It's been 45 minutes. So
it happens.
It doesn't matter.
You're talking to 2 Geminis.
That's okay. We're normally I'll get on here and I'll be like, I don't have much stuff today. And Ash goes, don't worry, man. We'll talk about 2 things for an hour. We'll be fine. And that's what happens a lot. And I never get everything out. So it sounds like you guys got a lot going on. I do want to cover the ins and outs real quick to make sure anybody who's interested. I assume you're not taking any more vendors at this point because you got 3 days.
No, we're good.
But if somebody is interested in buying tickets, of course, you can go to the website. You can contact their social media, or you can buy at the door. I don't know if you guys are still looking for any volunteers or anything like that.
Oh, always.
Always.
I mean, always.
Okay.
Always need victims.
It's been a
Volunteers.
tiny bit of a struggle to get some volunteers, but again, Topeka is an environment that you got to hit it first. Once they see that you know what you're doing, or that even your first attempt is good, it doesn't have to be great, but good, then more people will jump on board. It always seems like Topeka takes a minute. That's why we started advertising and hitting Facebook back in September.
It feels like there's so many people that'll come out and say, oh, we're doing a fair, and then it never happens. And it's hard to get excited about it. So just even showing you can do one, then that's when people, like after this first one, I'm sure even more people will be knocking down your door and going, I want to be part of it.
I don't know how much you've watched Facebook. Have you seen that we have Sir Groundhogs all over the place?
No, but we deal with groundhogs in Wichita too. And that's, you got to watch them for your horses, those gals.
So we've already paid attention back there. We know the 2 places that they're at. And at this time, we've got little signs that are going to be beware of Sir Groundhog, because there's a whole family out there. Eventually we will relocate them, but just not at this moment.
Our 2 problems with groundhogs we had, just for future reference, would be one, of course, you don't want a horse getting in a groundhog hole or something. So you got to really watch that joust field. And then any kinds of birds of prey, because we've had the problem where you bring in the birds like the owls and stuff, and they always have them tethered. And for some reason, those groundhogs know those birds are there, and they will dig up. Like if the tethers are 10 feet, they'll dig up 12 feet away. And the birds will just be flying and hitting the end of those tethers and hitting the ground and stuff. So the groundhogs will come torment the birds. And you got to be careful about it. We didn't know it. And then literally Rich, Kathy, and I were both on stage at the time talking. And to our left were the birds. And you're just watching the birds trying to go after gophers. Nobody's listening to us because there's a show, you know. So you just got to keep an eye on that. Oops. Sorry. So having that said, we got 10 minutes, so I want to make sure we get all of our bases covered. And I think we have, you guys are 2 days, Saturday and Sunday,
Yep.
this weekend. Opening, I'm going to assume 10 to 6, or what are your hours?
Yes, and
Thank
we
you.
have the Royal Ball on Saturday, which is starts at 6. We have our ribbon cutting at 6 o'clock on Friday. Most of the festival, like the grounds will be open. We'll probably have we'll be about 70 to 80% vendors will be there. Jousting's going to be here. Swordmaster's going to be here. So a lot of them will be set up. Not all the entertainment will be here.
For Saturday night, you're talking?
No, Friday night. So
Friday
we're
night,
actually
okay.
having a ball on Friday night. The Pirate Bar will be open. It's just a chance for people that maybe want to get a sneak peek, want to kind of see what we did. Because, decor is kind of important in Renfest. And we're doing a little. We were going to do more, but kind of decided for our first one, we really want to focus on the vendors, the entertainment, that sort of thing, and maybe not go so far out that it wears us out.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
So yeah, we have the Royal Masquerade Ball on Friday.
Okay. So I will try to post up some information about that. And I know we are coming down on Friday, so we're going to try to come visit at that then.
Okay.
And then I think I've covered all the bases. Is there anything you want to throw in about the festival?
Yeah, we're just really excited. We're excited for it to hit. We're excited to see. We want people to just know this isn't everything that we know or everything that we can
Right.
do. It's just what we've done for the first one. And we've got one planned in October, All Hallows weekend. And then we're looking at it. I can't say what yet, but we're looking at one in April. That's going to be kind of a special one. But yeah, we're looking at having a couple smaller ones.
April's a
top
tough
of-
month. It's a tough month.
Well, we've pushed out some dates. We've looked at March also. But it'll be worth it. That's all I'm going to say.
Just something to keep in mind for April. A lot of people don't, is that floating holiday, Easter in there, because it's never
Yeah.
the same weekend. So you can't keep that same weekend all the time every year. We have the same problem with Great Plains, and Norman has it, where you got to keep changing your dates every year because Easter will decide to move on you, and
Right.
then somebody else changes their dates. But man, I'd like to see you guys doing a lot more activities up there.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm excited for it. So I look forward to seeing you this weekend. And if there's anything you need from us, I know I'm going to bring some flags and stuff. You let me know. And that's about it. So we'll see you there this weekend, Angela. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. All right.
And,
Bye.
night. All right. I think there we
I
go.
think we did good there.
All right. So I'm excited to go this weekend. It'll be fun.
Good. I'm glad.
They given us plenty of free time to go hang with people and do stuff. So we're gonna have an open time to actually be able to hang out and try some new material out.
I'm really hopeful that humanity does not, weigh down their enthusiasm, because my opinion of humans. They'll do something to mess it up.
Oh man, I'm just going through Anime Fest right now, like getting everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going through the same stuff, especially it being their first year and everybody coming in and saying, do it this way, do it that way, do it, because hell, we're on 2 decades with Anime Fest, and I still have that. People coming in and telling you, do it this way, do it that way. I even got scolded for AI art this week that I didn't use AI art. And I had a couple
Just
people-
remind you before you say anything, they left. We're still on.
Yes, yeah, we're still on. I'm not,
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're okay. I wasn't complaining about people so much as it is a constant thing that
Yeah,
they're
I was
gonna,
just heading you off.
No, I appreciate it. No, I won't lie. I did. I had some. I hired a great DJ group out of Kansas City this year, and they were making their own graphics. And they said, "You want me to do graphics? Because I see you're getting raked about your AI graphics." I'm like, "What? What AI graphics?" I'd made a flyer from a ConnellCon, posted it up, and somebody just commented and said, "Like, you guys are too big to be using AI. That's horrible to do to your patrons." I'm like, "It wasn't AI. I made it. Damn it." Yeah. So there's people out there right now. I'm like, I've got the layers. I can show you everything. No, you didn't make it. And it's like, and it's not even that it was real good or anything. I just, I don't know. People come at you for nothing,
Yeah.
and it gets old after a while. So that's where I'm at. I'm just totally beat down right now but for every person to beat you down, I will say I've got other people over there that are like, oh, hey, you need an extra panel? I'll do this panel for you. Oh, hey, I just want to be there and be part of it so much. And then they do it. So bless their hearts. But I also want to point out your scavenger hunt. My wife found the Blues Brothers table for sure.
Oh, really? Where was it?
It was up front by the main stage. She got me 2 different Blues Brothers shirt, a Ghostbuster Blues Brothers one, and then this one. And that was my Father's Day.
They had a Ghostbusters Blues Brothers shirt.
Yeah, and it's Dan Aykroyd inside of the No Ghost logo, and I was like, and Dan Aykroyd or Elwood Blues. I'm sorry. So he's in the Blues Brothers outfit. I was like, oh, I want that. And then we got so busy doing stuff that I never went and got it. And so Christy, during my last show, I guess went and got these for me, so I didn't miss out.
Yeah, Jessica, today Mattel was releasing a Barbie She-Ra for $55, and she really wanted it bad. Oh, she heard me.
Ran out.
They didn't run out.
Minutes.
The scalper, the scalper people did what they do. They set up the bots. They completely bought them out in minutes. And literally within an hour, they were already posting on eBay, reselling them for 3 times the amount that they paid on eBay.
That's the exact thing that's killing the Pokemon industry right now. And it sucks with almost everything. Like everything Mattel keeps, Hasbro. I mean, everything Hasbro keeps putting out. They put it out, and then all these big collectors that are bigger collectors than I am just go and buy like the thousands of dollars worth of shit, and they just stockpile it. And then they sell it slowly for twice the price online. Same thing with the damn popcorn buckets and stuff. It's made me enough to where there's a lot of stuff I just go, yeah. No, people go, you buying that new pack? No, not even touching it. I don't want to be near it. It's too much. Oh, that sucks. I knew. No. Sorry. Yeah. Oh man, that sucks. I know I posted that to her timeline too. What was that?
Kristen.
What would she post? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Oh, she posted the She-Ra Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jessica was really stoked on it, and literally she had to take a call, at her work, and in between, taking the call and it opened up, and by the time she got done with the call, 20 minutes later, they were all completely sold out. And
I even set a timer on my phone so I wouldn't miss the sale. And in between taking a phone call and like the time that it released, done, gone, no more. I was like, God damn it.
I just love that at least your wife feels the pain of collecting, because my wife doesn't see that as much. There's stuff she likes, but there's not like something she collects. You know how many times I've been like sitting there on that eBay auction going, I got to get this. I got to get just, even though I put my max bid in, I'll bid more, damn it. It's
I sent them an email today to be like, hey, are you going to re-release anymore? Because it would be nice if the people who, I was really nice about it, but I was like, within minutes, it was gone. I didn't get one. Or you, because I guess after I read up on it some more, this was like the pre-release or something. I can't remember how they phrased it, but like a pre-order, pre-release or something. But I guess they did have a specialty one they gave out at Planet Comic-Con for like $75. You could get one that's even nicer than the one they're going to sell. And it's not as if I could go to Planet Comic-Con, or not Planet, but San Diego Comic-Con.
I was just going to say, I bet San Diego does that a lot. And the problem being is, and Kelly and I have talked about this too, because he's even gotten in advance, took a buddy of his that was in a wheelchair so he could get to the front of the line. Not so that he could, but it worked out that way.
Hey, use them. Use them if you got them.
So even getting all that, he's like, you can't, the other vendors will just come in and buy that shit out before the con even opens sometimes. So like if they do a special pre-release of an action figure, you might think, oh, I'm the first one there, I'm going to get it. And it's like, no, the vendors that were here and everything, they were sold before the con opened.
I don't think they should be able to do that. I think
I agree.
They shouldn't be able to sell it until like Comic-Con starts.
I agree with that, unless I'm one of those vendors that was in there beforehand, because then I'm like, look at me, I worked real hard to get here, So,
Yeah, and like I said, I've been stalking this thing for like 28 days that it was going to go on sale, and I didn't get one.
Well, now that I know it exists, I'll keep an eye out just on my regular looking at, because I'm always looking for like weird Ghostbuster, Flash Gordon shit. So sometimes She-Ra pops up. Some people still like it. Who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of like Spider-Man 2099 or
Well-
Star
Or
Trek.
or
And I'm wondering if it was more that it was a specialty Barbie, because so many people collect Barbies, than if it was
Oh.
more like a She-Ra thing. I don't know.
It's a little bit of both. I mean,
Yeah,
when you have
probably.
that kind of overlapping, you can overlap the different collectors and get more.
it's
Yeah.
like the Turtles Ghostbuster crossover stuff. I have a couple of the comics, but almost all that just prices went up right away, and it's hard to get a hold of because it's that crossover. But
Yeah, I looked all over online today too after it was like, you know, sold out. And yeah, the only place you can get it is eBay, and it was so expensive. Like one of the people was only selling it for $90, and it was like, well, it was $55 anyway. And I was like, yeah, but some of the other ones are like $299. And I'm like, eventually, hopefully, they will price themselves out of this, and I'll get one. I don't know.
well, it's like this right here. I got one right here. These Neutron wands that came out at Ollie's. They had got rid of them, or they'd started putting them on clearance at Wally's or Ollie's for $50, and they were going for about $250 or $150 before that. And the main reason you could find out they went on sale at Ollie's is because on Marketplace they were all selling for about $100 all of a sudden.
And
You
what
know,
is it? Is it
It's a wand off a Ghostbuster pack, but they were just selling for $50 a piece there. So people were buying them like crazy for $50 at Ollie's, and then put them up on Marketplace for $100 and just selling them constantly. So it took me, I don't know, 2-3 weeks to even find one of these because everybody was just buying them to resell them on Marketplace at a cheap price.
I didn't
you know.
know you wanted one of those because I saw it at Aldi's.
Yeah, they have them now
For Ollie's.
because everybody's kind of figured out that they were cheap. I got this
Yeah.
one a couple weeks ago. I just have
you
not
been
had the,
frequenting Ollie's?
huh?
I went to Ollie's without you twice now. I know.
You're a horrible woman.
I am. So,
Yeah.
Oh, but speaking of comic books, something I wanted to bring up on the little geeky news, dude, is apparently, let me see, where'd it go? Okay, June, new titles from Marvel, including Imperial #1, Predator versus Spider-Man #1,
That'd be cool.
Death of the Silver Surfer #1, Runaways #1, and the epic Godzilla versus the Avengers #1.
Ooh, Godzilla Adventures I'd go up for. I didn't know that they were rebooting Runaways again.
I'd go for the Spider-Man one too, you know.
Yeah, Predator's been getting a lot. They've been putting out some good looking shit lately. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I'm kind of impressed with some of the Predator stuff they've been putting out. So I could get behind that and get excited.
Kristen, to let you know, because she said that there's a place in Lawrence that has the She-Ra Castle thing with all 8 dolls. Jessica got the She-Ra Castle for Christmas from me, so she's got the castle and she's collecting the dolls now. She's got several of them. She always hits whenever there's a con that she goes to. She always hits the little collectors. I mean, the little vendors with the figures and goes through the buckets to see what she can find. And Kelly says that Mattel's distribution sucks.
Yeah, he would definitely know.
Oh,
See,
and
now, if only you had a 3D printer, you could make her the She-Ra sword. No pressure.
I have a 3D printer.
Yeah, I was that's me. See, that's me saying you should make your wife a 3D printed sword. That's what I
I
was
was trying to make the 3D printed sculpture that you had shown me, but my resin printer just didn't seem to want to kick it out. I kept having issues. But I wanted to talk to you. I have figured out a way with you know how you always see people's prints whenever they show them on the YouTubes and stuff like that, and they always seem to be this perfect exterior without all the bumps that ours have. I found out how.
I've heard different people say different ways, but I've not seen any physical proof. But go ahead, let's hear.
All right, physical proof right here, baby.
Is it?
All right.
'Cause I've heard of the primer that fills gaps and the
Nope.
the
See, here you see the one that I printed some time ago. For those not on the those listening, you see, I'm
Audio
holding up
version.
an old Futurama Planet Express ship that I was working on. That it's just the surface is just covered with little bumps.
You can see the lines for sure. Yeah.
All right. Now, this is the one I'm printing now. No bumps.
So much smoother. Yes. How did
Yeah,
you?
so much smoother. 2 little differences in the slicer made all the difference. I'm no longer dealing with those Z placement bumps, those Z stop bumps. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I thought you weren't going to tell me. You're like, and you don't get to know. You bastard.
And next time on Concast. No, okay. The way that you do it, first off, is when you go into your slicer and you go to the first. Let me see the first one, quality.
Uh-huh.
You go down to the walls, and the wall printing order, you want to change it to inner, outer, inner. So it prints the inner wall first, then the outer wall, and it keeps those Z things, from where you're changing layers from being on the outside. So inner, outer, inner. And then on the strength, the second tab, you have to change the number of wall loops because it always defaults to 2. Change it to a minimum of 3 because you have to have 3 for inner, outer, inner.
Okay.
So minimum of 3 walls, change the order to inner, outer, inner, and that was it. Literally, that was it.
I will have to look. Of course, I shouldn't talk because right now I'm at a spot where neither one of my printers is wanting to work right as of last night. So I just got to adjust them. The little Z offset or whatever it is, where it comes down and it's off half the time. It'll just say half the time it says it doesn't work, and then it goes to print and it messes up about an inch into it. So
Oh wow.
I just haven't had time to mess with them. All right, so it's about time to get off. I gotta get back to work on anime. It's good chatting with you. Yeah.
Well, lovely chatting with everybody, and I need to get back to work. I've got models to finish, dinner to eat, and stuff like that.
Well, and one thing I should say, since it's Concast related, is I'm letting you know I moved. Normally we do a Concast panel on Sunday at the Anime Fest.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. We're gonna do it Saturday morning.
Good to know.
It fits better, and it's going to be almost one of the first things right after opening ceremonies on another stage.
Okay.
So we won't be able to talk about everything that happened at the convention over the weekend, but we'll talk about what's going on. And then we're also sponsoring a modeling contest in panel room 2. Half the room will be with some 3D printed models and stuff like that. You guys can come in and vote.
And it doesn't necessarily 3D printed. Any models.
Any models, any kind of creative art pieces like that people want to.
Roberto, that does not include OnlyFan models. All right.
It does
No.
include OnlyFan models. I got another panel room with a lock on it. So if anybody does want to, you can even bring your models to the event. You can just cost nothing to enter. We're just going to have spots with places where people can vote. It'll be a silent voting. We'll give we'll give awards on Sunday at the deal. Also in that room, there will be some tables set up for collectible card gaming. The boys are going to be in there a little bit doing some Magic tournaments to also keep an eye on the models. See? And then, so that was it. So we will see you guys, some of you at Topeka this weekend. Others we'll see next week at Anime Fest, I hope. So,
all right. Bye, everybody. And I'm going to assume, with as busy as you're going to be next week, that we will not have a Concast next week, but we will do it on the weekend.
I had debated on calling Randy or Holly and seeing if they wanted to talk about Anime Fest.
Well, yeah.
I don't know how busy I'll be next Wednesday, so let's play it by ear.
Play it by ear.
Right
Gotcha.
now, I got it all online and I'll be fine, but stuff always comes up. So,
yeah, like I said, humans.
Yep.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, and we are